There was a time not that long ago, actually, where even if you mentioned 5G, so much so people were using code over it to talk about it. Yeah, but if you mentioned 5G in any of your videos on social media, it would be heavily censored, if not completely banned. And here's a little tip for you. If you don't want a subject to be controversial or be viewed as taboo, then maybe don't do stuff like that. If you don't want conspiracies and speculation around it, then maybe stop banning the content and stopping people from talking about it raises a wee bit of suspicion. Whatever your views are about 5G and whatever your feelings may be about it, however safe and effective you think it is or isn't, one thing is clear, certainly from my perspective, and that is these things are freaking horrible. They are a monstrosity. They are an eyesore. They are horrible to look at. And all of a sudden, they just ended up on almost every freaking corner, certainly in places like city centres. They're just absolutely everywhere now, just out of nowhere. And they started out being these quite tall things, yeah, and all of a sudden, I don't know if you noticed this as well, but they have sort of shrunk. They've come down. The height of them have come down as well on a lot of them, I've noticed, as people have just become, more accepting to them being in the environment, right? Long story short about these things, there's this leafy suburb in Reading where people living on these streets in this suburb were complaining about a moaning type noise. It was so loud, it was actually keeping some people up at night. And the council were forced to admit that it was actually one of these 5G radio masts causing the moaning sound. Yeah, so the council actually admitted that it was that. What's being done about it, I don't know. This is just what's been reported, that it is in fact that making a moaning noise. And I'm sure something will be done about it in, maybe a couple of years' time perhaps, or never. But yeah, I don't know what your thoughts are about them. I think they're absolutely horrible bloody things. Ta-ta.